Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. I am going to try and show you how I'm going about fitting the Airtec wide arches onto this thing now. We've trial fitted them, we've sprayed the front ones. I might have a guy lined up to cut and weld my rear arches. Fingers crossed that comes through. And now I'm going to show you on how I am going to go about fitting them to the car. As you can see, I've sort of got this one sat into place. I don't know how well that's picking it up. And it looks really good, in my opinion. It really does. But there is one issue about bonding it onto the car. Obviously, you guys don't have the kit yet, but I'm going to show you that issue if you are going on about bonding it. You see, the thing is, I've got one over here on my workbench. I'll just show you quickly. You see, the thing is, if you look at the back of it, there is 0 to no surface area of where Tiger Seal or any PU adhesive can stick to hold it onto your car. There's just no surface area whatsoever. So what you've got to do, as I have been told by my friends down at Dip Demons, which I have done the other side of the car, I just need to show you it in a minute, it's sort of like a Blue Peter moment, is you need to cover your car with cling film, and then you need to pack the back of it with bridge filler or fiberglass filler. It's the same thing, bridging filler, fiberglass filler. I found that out myself the other day. So once you've packed, I'll turn this over, it needs cutting and polishing anyway. Once you've packed the back of it in, you then push it against your car where the cling film is over, and it sort of makes a new template. And then obviously when it's gone off and hardened, you pull it off with the cling film at all, and you peel the cling film off, and then you are left with something that looks like that. It's not pretty, but it's not going to be seen. All right, but now you have got so much more surface area to put your Tiger Seal in to bond it onto the car. So that's the plan of action I'm taking, and that's what I'm going to go about doing. But there is a but. That side fits up perfectly, well, as perfectly as a fiberglass body can go. So that's all done. I've even got the roof scoop now bonded on into place, so there's no going back on that. So that side is ready for the arch to be cut and for it to go onto the car on that side. So looking good. But this side, this one here sits nicely, all right? But the front bit is going to take a little bit of work. I didn't spot this when I was trial fitting. I should have spotted it, but I didn't. But the problem I've got with this front piece here, which is really, really annoying me, I've thought about just slapping it on and saying, oh well, but I can't do that now, I've gone this far, is if I push that on there, like so, and get it into place, you can see there is not a little gap, but there is a pretty big leap between there and there, which is really, really annoying. So what I'm going to do, the gap seems to be on this side here. If you bear with me 1 second, I can sort of try and show you what I mean, where the gap is. Okay, so the issue I've got here, is this one here is the one with the issue, and this one here is the one without the issue. If you look at them, I don't know how well the camera's picking it up, you can see the one on the left-hand side is significantly shorter than the one on the right-hand side. That's the problem I've got. The one on the left, on the passenger side, which I'm having the issue with, is a lot more shorter So what I'm going to have to do is I've got a strong tin over there, which I'm going to make a blanking plate to come in behind here. And then I'm going to have to scuff up all this again, bond it from the back, put some filler in down the side here, some fiberglass filler, smooth it off, and pray that that is enough to sort of raise it up ever so slightly to marry up with the other side. I don't know if you guys are understanding where I'm coming from when I'm saying this, but I'm going to bond a bit of tin on the back of here so it comes down, and then smooth over the top with filler. Hopefully that works. That's the route I'm going to have to go down. That's why my videos are slowing down, because A, I'm waiting on someone to come and cut and weld my rear arches, and B, I'm having a bit of a technical issue with the front. I've sort of been scratching my head for a few days on the best way to go about doing this, but from what I can tell, that's the only real way I can go about doing it. So a bit of tin bonded on, filler over, and this piece here will more than likely be resprayed again. It's a bit of a shame really, it's come out really well. But that is it, I'm afraid. That is what's going to happen with that one. So yeah, a bit of a shame, but I best crack on, otherwise it ain't going to get done, is it? So then I hear you asking, what are you going to need to pull this off? So what you're going to need to bond your Airtec wide arch kit onto your car is a knife, a scraper, a piece of cardboard or an ice cream tub lid, something along those lines. You need some masking tape. You're going to need a tube of cling film. I've got a sheet of 240 grit paper, a tin opener, and your filler. So the next stage is, once you've gathered up those things, it's quite cheap in a matter of fact on how to do so. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to get your masking tape and run a line all the way around where you think the impact points are. Obviously learn from my mistakes, guys. That's why you watch these videos, to see how not to do it. If I'd have known this in the past, I would have done this stage first and then sprayed my arches. So then, the impact points onto the car from this arch are this line across here and down here on this side. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to take your paper and scuff up all on the inside down there like so. So I'm going to do that now off of camera, and when you see me again next, it's going to be done. Okay, so now that's all scuffed up along this line here and this line down here. So it's about that much down. I don't know where you saw that, but that much down and about that much up. We're going to want to go over to the car now with the cling film and cling film the panel that we're going to be bonding it up to. Seeing as this is the panel here that I'm going to be bonding it onto, I'm going to cover the area in the cling film, because of course this is going to be the barrier between your paintwork underneath and the cling film on top. I know what you're thinking, why are you protecting something that you're covering up? But it's more of the fact of you're trying now to make a new mould inside of the moulded arch itself. So once they're made, then you can worry about it at a later date. Plus you don't really want to potentially bond straight on to your panel. So that's that. One bit of cling film over, that should do the job. Plus it saves any extra splurge going out onto your paintwork, which is not very nice. So then, now that you've got that side of things prepped and this side of things prepped, what you're going to want to do is turn this over. I've got a bit of hardener on there. Is turn this over, and you're going to want to put some masking tape lines like this. Like, yet again, I don't know how well this is showing up on camera. Over the top of your panel, like so. You only want 2 to start with. Just leave it at that, okay? Now you turn this over, because those there will be flapping now, which is where you want them to be, out the way, flapping away. because this is just going to help you when you go over to your car to put it on your car, to push it against and stick it onto it. So now this is the bit where you, I suggest and highly recommend that you get gloved up for. If you haven't got gloves yet in your kit, I suggest you get them for every toolbox. They just come in handy for any horrible jobs you might have lined up in the future. Handy on oil changes and, well, if you're working on anything as grubby as this. And if you're wearing long sleeves, roll them up, just in case. So this is a bit where you use your cardboard. I've got two sides of the cardboard. I've already used one side for one side of the car, and this is the other. This is where you're going to need your hardener. That comes with your filler, and this is your actual fiberglass filler itself. If you've not used this stuff before, this one here is particularly potent. It like glows in the dark. Whew, and it stinks. But anyway, so what you're aiming for here when it comes to mixing ratios is 1 golf ball size to a pea size of hardener. But considering how big a build this is, I'm going to need a lot more than that. I'll show you in a minute. Let's empty this tin. I'm going to go for it. I'm just going to empty this whole tin out, I think. There's no real maths in this. Just know that if you put too much hardener in, it's going to go hard before you've even managed to walk your panel over to the car. If you put too much in, it's going to be hard before you've even had time to use it as a mould. If you don't put enough in, it's never going to go off. So, yeah. I think, no, I still need that, This one here can disappear. Yeet. Right. I'm going to be switching these gloves out now because they are a bit ugh. And I'm just going to get another pair down. Right then. Now looking at what I've got in front of me there, I would say that that's about 4 or 5 golf balls equivalent of. So I'm going to just knock it out a bit. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, like so. And now you want to be mixing it up and over and down. That technique all the way. Because if you get any air bubbles in it, if you just mix it like when you're making a cake with your mum at home, you're gonna have air bubbles in your final product, which if it's on show, if you're using this sort of filler for like show reasons, like I'm going to be when I go about fixing that other side where I said about the tin can jobby. This is a good practice to be in. So just up and over and down, up and over and down. Just like when you're making your icing for your cake. If you're a chef, like myself, you can sort of relate to this. And it's, just keep it rotating. Now that there's no red on show anywhere and it's thoroughly mixed through, you want to go about putting it nice and thick onto your wing. Pushing up obviously as you go. Don't be afraid to just get absolutely stuck in. forget to do it down at the bottom. And this is the best bit of why you're wearing gloves. You can now shape it with your hands to where you want it to sit, pushing up as you go. Lovely, jubbly. And what you're doing here is when it goes off hard, is you're increasing, as I say, the surface area of where the tiger seal is going to sit. That is the whole idea of this. It's not a nice process, as you can see, but this one doesn't have to be the neatest, because it's not going to be seen. Because you've got to remember, it's going to be plastered and tiger seal back here as well. From here, there's a lot there, down to here, there's not much there. Quick glove change, and then I'm going to run down to the car. So yeah, I'm going to change these gloves out quickly, again. Then I'm going to grab my masking tape into my pocket, and I don't think I'm going to be able to catch the next bit on camera because I am going to run down to the car and slap it on, so bear with. Okay, so there we have it, it's on the car. A few bits have splurged through as expected, but as you got a glove on anyway, just wipe it off with your finger. Going around, it's easy to wipe it off now. Then when it goes dry, otherwise you have to chisel it off or sand it off, or just do what I do and just knock it off with a Stanley knife. And now you've got to wait for that to go hard. You're going to feel behind here, if you run your hand across here, in about 10 minutes time, it's going to feel really, really, really warm. That's just down to, obviously, the chemicals reacting together and the hardener going off. And all you need to do now really is leave it to go hard. There's nothing you can do because you've sort of made it mould now, and then leave it to do its thing. When it's gone hard in about, say realistically, half an hour, depending on how much hardener you put on is how quick it goes off, as I've already said, and it's ready to be bonded on. Obviously I still need to cut the arches, and I've got all of that work down there to do because I've got to adjust it, as I said earlier. Really annoying, but hey. Right then guys, that's that off the car. Just walking over here. Put it on top of the tractor just so you can see. And there you have it. You have created a mould inside of a mould. So this line here in green, not only is it bigger and deeper than what was on there before, but it's more surface area for your tiger seal to go onto, to bite onto the car for when you go and fit your arches. So then guys, hopefully through all of my mumbling and jumbling of words, and I don't know how to get them out, let's face it, I'm not exactly the best presenter on a YouTube channel, but I'm trying my best here. You kind of know where I'm at with this build. I have a feeling that that front bumper with that one section is going to take me a while to get that sorted out, so progress is probably going to slow down due to that, and slow down due to waiting on the arches to be cut and welded. Obviously I'll try and keep you all in the loop as much as I physically can, but hopefully this gives anybody out there who has the Airtec Auto Specialist arch kit a rough idea on how to go about fitting it onto the car. If then you want to go on to the next stage by smoothing them in, you go for it. Me personally, at this present time, I'm not going to smooth them in because I've just got so much stuff to do outside of all of this and at work. And in 5 weeks' time, my daughter is due to be born. So cheers for watching, guys, and I'll catch you all soon.